Hello and welcome to this introduction of our unique product called Event Impact Analysis. The purpose of this video is to give you an understanding of how you can benefit from the information that this product delivers and to show you how to use and interpret the information on the user interface. Let's start at the beginning and look at what it does. You know that many traders follow very closely what is happening in the news. There are many news events that affect stock prices and exchange rates and the values of commodities. Some news events happen unexpectedly, like natural disasters or political scandals. But many important events happened at predefined dates and times, like State of the Nation addresses and budget speeches. There are also well-defined dates and times when certain economic data is made available to the public. These events that we know are going to take place may hold potential trade opportunities, depending on what types of instruments we hold. So AutoChartist Event Impact Analysis is aimed at giving you a better understanding of how certain economic events impact certain tradable instruments. I will refer to it as the EIA for the rest of this video, not to be confused with an environmental impact assessment. For the moment, we are only offering the EIA on 8 major forex currency pairs, as well as gold and silver, but in theory it can be applied to anything with a price graph. If I were to ask you, how did the latest non-farm payroll affect the Euro-USD? How would you go about answering that question? If you weren't looking at the Euro-USD price graph at the time and can therefore not recall it from memory, you would probably refer back to your charting program to see what happened. But you would need to know at what point in time the event took place exactly so that you could give me a more accurate answer. You would probably have to check what the date was of the latest release. And you may still need to adjust it for your own time zone. This process can easily take 20 minutes or more. This is exactly what the EIA has already summarized for you. Not only does it display a graph on which the exact time of the latest non-farm payroll is illustrated, with a blue line running down the middle, but it also shows you the same for the previous 11 similar events. So now you will even be able to give me an answer if I ask you, how does the non-farm payroll usually affect the Euro-USD? But any trader with experience will ask, what time frame are we looking at? Because some economic events cause huge volatility within minutes after the event takes place, while other events may take hours or days to be assimilated by the market. For this reason, we've added 3 zoom levels to the EIA. The finest looking at the next 4 hours of 5-minute data, the next up being 12 hours of 15-minute data, and the broadest range showing the 2 days of 60-minute data that follow the event. In each case, we also provide an analysis summary that relates specifically to the difference between the consensus view of what the market expects the outcome of the event to be and that which is actually realized. Especially for economic events that are based around the release of data, there's several experts that make projections based on the available information to try and predict what the actual figures would turn out to be. Sometimes they are spot on, but sometimes they really get it wrong. The difference between the expected value and actual value is what we call the delta, which can be either positive or negative or occasionally zero. Since the delta becomes known the moment when the actual data is released, we can relate this difference from the expectation to the way in which the market reacts on the price graph of an instrument. Here we look at a very simple linear regression to determine whether the general trend that followed the event was more upward or more downward. Then at the top of the page, we have given you a summary of all of this information. You see, our reasoning is that much of the information that is available around an event is built into the price already. But if there is a shocking difference between what the market thought they knew and what they've suddenly learned, then price needs to move to incorporate this new information. So from this summary, we want to see how often does the price movement reflect the delta or the surprise that the market suffered. If there is a good correlation, then this may create opportunities for traders to take a calculated position as soon as the event takes place and the delta is realized. We've even made a summary of the summary. Here's how to interpret the summary of the summary. These two blocks indicate the degree of positive correlation, meaning that the delta and the price after the event tend to move in the same direction. These two blocks indicate a degree of negative or inverse correlation, meaning that the delta and price after the event tend to move in opposite directions. The two percentages are inversely proportional. The closer they both are to 50%, the more we tend to conclude there really is no consistent correlation, and that the price does not really seem to be affected by any surprises that this type of event delivers. On the other hand, the further these percentages are from the 50% mark, we can conclude that there is a significant correlation or significant inverse correlation, and that judging from past events, you might statistically expect price to move in a predictable way after this type of event gives us a startling revelation of the gaps in our knowledge. Of course, we cannot suggest to you that past events can accurately predict future events, but what we can show you is an obvious correlation or lack thereof, and you need to decide how you want to make use of that information. EIA is a new product, so you won't find it with all brokers, but if you are interested in it, contact your Forex broker to see whether the service may already be available to you. We are always at your disposal for questions and feedback. Just email us on support@ordercharters.com and we would gladly assist you in any way we can. Best of luck with your trading, and thanks for watching this video.